Hello everyone, you are welcome to Updates Today's channel. Here we're going to feed you with probably the news you have missed today with some details. Please follow as we go on this ride. Thank you. Bolaji Abdullahi says students' loan doesn't address tertiary education problems. Let's go to the details of the news. Agora, a policy think tank, has advised the federal government to increase funding for public tertiary institutions while implementing the student loan policy. Bolaji Abdullahi, a former Minister for Youth Development and Sports, had advised the federal government to rethink the priorities. Contributing to the subject matter in Agora's latest policy paper, Abdullahi said it is not wise to expand access to tertiary institutions through the student loan policy without adequately increasing funding to address subsisting inadequacies. In his words, he said, expanding access without expanding funding for the higher institutions undercuts their capacity to deliver quality education. Loan or tuition does not substitute for government allocation, but the funding system should be based on per student costing, which should also reflect changes in operating costs on an annual basis. Using the per student costing approach will ensure that our higher institutions have adequate funding to deliver quality education and greater value to the students and the country. That's what he said. Federal government 90 billion naira Hajj subsidy is a setback for Nigeria's economy. Atedo Peter Side said this. Let's see the founder of Stanbic IBTC and ANAP Foundation, Atedo Peter Side, has described the federal government's 90 billion naira subsidy for the 2024 Hajj as a setback for the nation's economy. He said, this is not about religion, but about politics. We are mixing religion and politics. So what do we now expect Christians to do? To say they want their own share of this subsidy? How are you going to refuse them? This is all about politics. Perhaps someone feels that it is time for me to score some cheap political points. You now come and sent the wrong signal about our economy at a time when our economy is in deep trouble. We need to bring ourselves out of this hole. Each time you turn around and do something insignificant like this Hajj subsidy and throw away 90 billion naira, you set back the process by which investors and others can take you seriously. For me, it is not about religion and pilgrimage. It is the setback of the economy by sending the wrong signals. The government should stop sending the wrong signals. That is what Peter Side said. And what do you think about the subsidy? What do you think too? What's your point? Judiciary, not INEC, is the problem with Nigeria's democracy. Peter Obi said this. That's kind of loud. The former governor of Anambra State and the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, said, while the judiciary today still boasts of a few outstanding judges, there is an undeniable decline in our judicial system. This decline poses a significant threat to the future of Nigeria. Justice is increasingly commodified and delivered in favor of the highest bidder. He further said, whenever democracy is discussed, fingers point to the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC as the problem. But INEC is not the problem, instead, the judiciary is. The judiciary is the biggest threat to Nigeria. If our judiciary is effective, our businesses will thrive. When the rule of law is compromised, the most vulnerable members of society are disproportionately affected, and the fabric of our society begins to fray. The integrity of our institutions, the protection of human rights, and the stability of our nation are all jeopardized. That's where I'm going to stop. He said a lot, but you can find out online and you'll read the full details of what he said. Thank you. Now let's go international. Israel tells UN court it has right to press on with assault in Gaza's Rafah. Okay. Israel's lawyers have told the United Nations top court that the country has the right to move ahead with a full-scale offensive on Rafah in southern Gaza to defend itself against Palestinian group Hamas after South Africa filed an urgent request to order a ceasefire as part of a wider case accusing Israel of genocide. The fact remains that the city of Rafah also serves as a military stronghold for Hamas, which continues to pose a significant threat to the state of Israel and its citizens. Gilad Noam, Israel's Deputy Attorney General for International Law, told the International Court of Justice (ICJ) in The Hague on Friday. Noam accused South Africa of making a mockery of the heinous charge of genocide, accusing the country of adopting a strategy of dragging Israel to court endlessly and having an ulterior motive for urging an Israeli withdrawal from Rafah to obtain a military advantage for its ally Hamas, which it does not want to see defeated. There is more details. You can go online and find the details. Thank you. Let's quickly talk about health. WHO, World Health Organization, has updated its Bacteria Priority Pathogens List 2024. The World Health Organization has released its updated Bacteria Priority Pathogens List 2024, featuring 15 families of antibiotic-resistant bacteria grouped into critical, high, and medium categories for prioritization. WHO made this known in a statement on Friday. It said that the list guides the development of new and necessary treatments to stop the spread of antimicrobial resistance, AMR. Okay, let's quickly touch the United States of America. Another Biden administration staffer resigns over the U.S. stance on Gaza war. The Associated Press news agency reported that another staffer in United States President Joe Biden's administration has publicly resigned in protest of the U.S. continued support for Israel amid its war on Gaza. Lily Greenberg Cole, a special assistant to the chief of staff in the U.S. Interior Department, wrote in her resignation letter that she could not, in good conscience, continue to represent the administration. Lily, who is Jewish, also condemned comments Biden had made since the Gaza war began in October, including one where he warned there wouldn't be a Jew in the world who was safe without the existence of Israel. He is making Jews the face of the American war machine, and that is deeply wrong. That is what Lily said. What do you think about that? Let's see in the comment. Okay, let's quickly touch tech. Nigerian stock photographers face uncertain future. Will AI steal their jobs? I don't know. Maybe you know. Let's read the details. The Nigerian stock photography business has been a silent but lucrative sector, with local stock photographers in Nigeria capturing the country's vibrant culture and diverse landscapes. However, after adapting to different eras of technological advancement like camera upgrades and editing apps, they are bracing themselves for the next tech disruptor, generative AI. This new technology offers clients a faster, cheaper, and more customizable alternative, potentially rendering traditional stock photo libraries obsolete. Some photographers, like Shannon Fagan, speaking with Wall Street Journal, fear that their work will become irrelevant in the face of this new AI-powered approach. What do you think? Is that true? I don't think so, but whatever you think, let's see in the comments. And let's wrap it up for today. Let's go to the last news. Crypto scam. Chinese citizens arrested for laundering 73 million US dollars using shell companies. My God, how did they do that? Li and Zheng are both charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering and 6 substantive counts of international money laundering. If convicted, the defendants face a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison on each count. That's crazy. Zhang pleaded not guilty today to the charges and a July 9 trial date was scheduled. Zhang, who remains in federal custody, has a detention hearing scheduled for May 21. Li, whom a federal magistrate judge has ordered jailed without bond, is scheduled for arraignment on May 20. Sophisticated financial scams such as these are a dangerous threat to the financial well-being of all Americans, said United States Attorney Martin Estrada. While my office will continue to root out and punish these deceitful schemes, I encourage everyone to educate themselves on pig butchery and other kinds of financial fraud to protect their families against such predatory activity. Vigilance is key, according to him. And according to court documents, Li, Zheng, and other conspirators allegedly managed an international syndicate that laundered proceeds of cryptocurrency investment scams, which are also known as pig butchery. Pig butchering. Victims of the schemes under investigation were fraudulently induced into transferring millions of dollars to U.S. bank accounts opened in the names of dozens of shell companies whose sole apparent purpose was to facilitate the laundering of fraud proceeds. A network of money launderers then facilitated the transfer of those funds to other domestic and international bank accounts and cryptocurrency platforms in a manner designed to conceal the source, nature, ownership, and control of the funds. The fraud scheme involved more than $73 million laundered through U.S. financial institutions to bank accounts in the Bahamas and converted to the virtual asset USDT or Tether. A cryptocurrency wallet involved in the scheme received more than $341 million in virtual assets. How did these guys do this thing? If they are this smart to do scam, why can't they be smart to do the right thing? Anyway, guys, that's the last that we're going to update you today. Please, tomorrow we are here for you again, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This is how I'm going to get encouraged to bring you updates every day. Thank you once again, and goodbye. Have a good night.